Hello, this is Pastor Rick, and I want to welcome you to the Sunday Forum for this Sunday, February the 26th. And we're going to talk about Emmanuel Academies, especially the role that our seminary plays within the capital campaign, Fling Wide the Door. And of course, because Howard Isaacson, Clay Schmidt, and I just come back from Rwanda, we've got some fresh videos and pictures and stories we want to tell to highlight the important work of Emmanuel Academies, not just in Rwanda, but in Latin America and in the United States as well. So let me start with our trip to Rwanda that happened in January. We were gone a little over 2 weeks, from January the 6th through the 21st, and we had really two major goals with the trip. And the first was, we wanted to further the relationship with the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Rwanda. We have a very good relationship, but it's always via Zoom. And so we thought being there in person would really enhance the relationship, and it did. It was spectacular. But secondly, we wanted to assess our students. They've been working online, and we knew they were ready for exams. And so they did take exams. We conducted 2 whole days of exams for our students. And you might be surprised, they were actually excited afterwards because now they can see the program and how it works. They all did really well. And so before we go on and talk more about Rwanda and the Lutheran Church of Rwanda and our mission there, let's hear some testimonials from our students.
Thank you so much. Thank you, dear Howard and Emmanuel Academy in general. Thank you so much. Please continue to help Rwandan people with knowledge to help Lutheran Church in Rwanda and the people in Rwanda in general. Thank you so much.
We are thankful for the mentorship program you have for us, and also we are thankful for your encouragement, for the materials, for the books you give us. All those help us shape our Christian value, and we are ready to serve the Rwandese community as well as the church. Thank you so much.
I'm very impressed, and thank you, professors, for what you're providing for our students.
You could tell about their excitement and their gratitude for the work of Emmanuel Academies, and that means, of course, for the support that we get, especially here at Emmanuel Lutheran Church. Now let's frame our work in Rwanda a little bit and talk about the country and the church. Rwanda, as you can see on the map, is bordered by Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi, and the Congo. It's really a relatively high elevation for an African nation, and often it's referred to as the country of 1,000 hills, and you can see it, and we saw it when we drove around the country. The temperature ranges from a moderate temperature to subtropical. So again, for African situation, pretty nice weather. 12.6 million people. It's crammed, those millions of people crammed into a very small space. Is considered the 5th most densely populated country in the world. And again, you notice it when you drive around the country. There's people everywhere. Especially, we enjoy Kigali, over 1 million people in this growing and cosmopolitan city. And it's such an important city as far as business. It's considered now one of those places in Africa where there's this amazing tech hub and where many international businesses are coming to start their hubs. New businesses, entrepreneurial energy everywhere. And finally, I'd like to say, the major language is Kinyarwanda, that's the traditional language, but they also speak English, French, and Swahili, which means people from all over East Africa really feel comfortable there in Rwanda because there's always someone who handles their languages extremely well. Now, how about the church? Well, the church emerged after the genocide 29 years ago. Many of the Rwandans who could get out of the country, they left, Many of them went to Tanzania as refugees. And as many of you know, the Lutheran Church is very strong in Tanzania. And so in the refugee camps and in other places, where did they worship? With the Lutherans. And many of them became Lutheran in the process. And so when the refugees came back to Rwanda, they brought their Lutheran understanding of the faith with them. And so the church has really grown considerably after the genocide. And one of the important marks of this church, the Lutheran Church of Rwanda, is they weren't tainted by the genocide. Some of the other churches had, before the genocide, had cooperated with the government. People knew this. They had worked together with the politicians, even in promoting violence. And here now the Lutheran Church could come in fresh with a clean slate, and that's meant a lot for them as they've built their ministries. Because they're growing quickly, they need leadership. And what the government has done, the government sets the standards for the church. They've set a high standard. First of all, the buildings, the church buildings that you'll see have to be well made and maintained. But now all their clergy, all their pastors have to get MDiv degrees. That's a new requirement of the government, and that's where Emmanuel Academies showed up. And that we can offer an American degree, an MDiv, which is what they need. We can deliver that to them in their home sites. They don't have to leave for one of the schools in either Uganda or in Tanzania. This is a huge development for the church, one that not only the Lutherans are excited about, but others as well in East Africa are watching this example. So that's where our work comes in. 18 students, 17 MDiv students, and even the bishop, Bishop Mugabu, is one of our students. He's finishing his DMin, so he can teach in this program later on. So we're excited about the work, and they're excited about our work as well. Now this is all supported by you here at Emmanuel, the members of Emmanuel, and we're excited about that. So excited, in fact, that we thought this trip went so well that we want to go back next January and take members of Emmanuel, those who are interested in the work of the Lutheran Church of Rwanda, those who are interested in what God is doing and the leadership that's being raised up in this Lutheran Church and the role that we play. And so we're excited about having people sign up, express their interest. It will be a meaningful trip. It'll be such an important trip, and at the same time, we hope to play a little bit as well. We'll go on safari. And so as I describe this work, you're taking a look at some of the pictures that we took, especially Howard Isaacson took while we went through Akagera National Park. There are many parks in Rwanda, but this was the one that we visited this time. It was so wonderful and spectacular. In fact, we got surprised by some elephants as we were just driving down the road. They all of a sudden just came out of the jungle. It was rather dramatic, but it wasn't just the elephants that we saw. It was the lions. It was the hippos everywhere. We saw all the Big Five game. It was just loads of fun. There's nothing that gets me more excited. I'm a kid in a candy shop when I'm on safari, and I think many here at Emmanuel would enjoy that too. Now we want to close this video. Again, we're setting up our work in the campaign of Emmanuel Academies, and you'll hear more about that after the worship at 10:15 as we talk about not just our work in Rwanda, but in Latin America, in the US as well. But as an inspiration, we want to show this clip of Thanksgiving as the leadership of the Church of Rwanda said goodbye to us on our last day in Kigali. Hear, but also see their gratitude for the work not just that Emmanuel Academies is doing, but the work that's supported by Emmanuel Lutheran Church. Watch the video clip, and thank you for your support.
Yes.